Sometimes people don't listen to you until you're dead. And then the same folks who ignored you, they start acting like they always knew you mattered. You know why? Because now they believe this. If you got taken out, you must have been important. But let me tell you what's really going on. And it's not just human, it's spiritual. And if you understand the occult mechanics of it, you'll stop being shocked by society. This is the psychology of it. Why people ignore the living, then worship the dead. Most humans don't honor truth, they honor permission. When you're alive, your message demands responsibility. Now, if you're saying there's a better way, heal, wake up, choose higher, people hear it as an assignment. And the ego hates assignments. Let's just be honest. Because the ego survives through avoidance. So while you're alive, they reduce you. They do. Who do you think you are? Why are you always talking deep? You doing too much. But when you die, especially if it's violent, public, unjust, your message becomes safe. It becomes safe because now they can praise you without changing. They don't mourn you because they love truth. They mourn you because truth is easier to consume when it can't confront them. There's the martyr mechanism, how humans turn teachers into symbols. This is why so many messengers get turned into martyrs, because a living teacher challenges the crowd, but a dead teacher becomes a logo. A logo can be worn, a logo can be quoted, a logo can be used to win arguments, but a living teacher can look you in your eyes and say, "You're not living what you claim." So the crowd chooses a version of you they can control. But the spiritual law, why the message gets twisted spiritually, this is a frequency issue. Truth is high frequency, but most people live in comfort frequency. So when higher truth enters a lower field, the field tries to neutralize it. That's why people twist messages. Not always because they're evil, that's not always the case, but because their consciousness can't hold the full voltage. So they water it down, they domesticate it, they turn a revolution into a vibe, they turn a warning into a quote, they turn a blueprint into a brand, and then they call it honoring you. But for the occult like reasoning, energy harvesting plus narrative control. Now, let's go occult with it because this is where people get uncomfortable. In occult terms, attention is power, emotion is fuel, and collective grief is a ritual, even when nobody calls it one. When someone significant dies, it produces a mass wave, outrage, sorrow, fear, devotion. That is psychic energy moving through millions of minds at once. And whoever controls the story controls where that energy goes. So, what happens? They take the messenger's name and they attach it to a cause or causes. They attach it to agendas, products, politics, ideologies. And now the person becomes a battery. Not because everyone is in a secret meeting, but because systems naturally do what systems do. They metabolize power. They don't just kill the body sometimes, they attempt to reprogram the meaning. And they do this because meaning is the real currency. The dark mirror, why people respect death more than life, is because, let's just say it. Here's the shadow truth about humanity. Some people only respect what they're afraid to lose. They won't respect your wisdom, but they respect the tragedy. They won't honor your message, but they honor the proof that the world is dangerous. And the deeper layer, sometimes they needed you dead. and they needed you dead to avoid admitting you were right while you were alive. Because if you were right, they have to face what they ignored in themselves. Let's talk about the return to power, though. What to do if you're the messenger? If you are the messenger. If you're someone who sees deeper, speaks truth, warns people, guides people, listen, don't be surprised when the living resist you. Truth disrupts identity, and most people would rather protect identity than evolve. But also, don't let them turn you into a symbol while you're still breathing. Make your message plain, make your boundaries sharp, and understand not everyone is assigned to receive you. I'm going to say that again. Not everyone is assigned to receive you. Give wisdom to those with ears. Give love to those with capacity. And don't bleed trying to convince people who only believe when it's too late. Come on now. You got this.